I'm a certified yoga instructor. Very often my students will ask for hip opening postures and sequences, or I'll have students come to me and ask me what they can do to help open up their hips because they're really tight. So I'll watch them in whatever sequence I've provided or whatever posture I've given them, and I will say to them that your hips actually are pretty open. What you might be feeling is weakness in the hips. So very often the sensation of tightness can also be similar to the sensation of weakness. And as a society, the majority of us are often very weak through our hips as well as our glutes with the lifestyle that we live, sitting a lot, driving, or sitting at an office, at work, on the computer, etc., etc. So today I thought I would give you a really quick way to help strengthen through the glutes as well as the hips and help with some of that mobility. So getting into the hip joint, the acetabulum, and helping to break up some of those fascial adhesions that happen with a sedentary lifestyle or not moving our hips in different ranges of motion. So we spend a lot of time, like I said, in that flexion, sitting or even sleeping in a fetal position. So we're going to break up those movement patterns today, moving a little bit differently and also strengthening through the glute muscles, glute medius, maximus, and minimus. So join me on the mat. For today, you can use a blanket if you are sore under the knees. I just have a yoga blanket here that you can place under your knees. As for people who have wrist issues, you can do this up high, or you can always come down onto the forearms. Also, a lot of yoga accessory shops, studios online will sell these little gel discs. You can buy those. Those are great for under the knees or under the wrist if you have any knee or wrist issues. Anyhow, let's get started. I'm going to turn to face you at the side here so you can see what I'm doing. I am going to put some cushioning underneath my knees. We're going to come into a tabletop position, finding wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, fingers spread wide. Just take a moment checking in with that alignment, pulling the shoulders away from the earlobes, pressing down through the pads of the fingers, the knuckles, the palms. Also feeling really planted and grounded through the legs. We're going to start with some circling through the hip. We're going to start on the right side. So just picking up that right leg, and we're going to do some nice big round circles. So if you're just starting out doing these types of movement, you might notice that your circle isn't as big, or it might not even be a circle. It might be taking another shape. So just do what you can, going to your range of motion today. We're going to do about 10 in one direction. And then we're going to switch and go the opposite way. So you might hear some snap, crackle, pop happening here. Those are those fascial adhesions. I promise you the more you do this, the less there's going to be that sound, and also you might be able to start to get that knee up a little bit higher. Make sure you're staying strong through the hands and the knees, and you're not just leaning into the left side here. Couple more. Warming up. Keeping some tone through that belly. Lifting the belly button up and in. One more here. Bringing the knee back down. Let's tuck the left toes under. We're going to flex our toes back on the right side, and we're going to squeeze the heel as close into the bum as we can, contracting through the hamstrings. We're going to start with the knee down. We're going to press the foot up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to lower back down, keeping tone through the belly, pressing, and coming all the way back down. Pulling that heel in towards the glute, up and down. So we want to make sure that we're not coming into this herky-jerky motion like this, where we're stressing into the back. Our belly staying really stable, strong through the shoulder girdle, and just pressing up to the ceiling. Thinking about stamping a footprint on the ceiling. Couple more here. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to hold it up. Small pulses. Pressing all the way up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that knee back down. Reposition. We're going to extend the leg all the way out now, nice and long. We're going to squeeze, heel into bum, extending it. Squeeze, contract, extend. Pulling it in and out. In and out. Making sure there's equal weight distribution through the hands so we're not loading into the wrists. Staying strong through that belly. And feeling this through the glutes. In and out. Couple more. And then keep that leg extended long. You're going to tap the toe down, squeeze into your bum cheeks, raise up. Lower, squeeze and rise. For 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that knee down. We're not quite done on this side. We're going to take our right fingers out high. You might want to tent your fingers, giving you a little bit of space here. From here, you can untuck the back toes. We're going to lift that right leg up as high as we can, and then bring it back down. So it's kind of like peeing on a fire hydrant, all the way up and back down. Up and down. And right now, your leg might be not lifting as high. That's okay. We want to talk to that leg, squeezing to come up, lowering back down. We're halfway there. For 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to hold it up, small pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it here. Extend your leg out. Squeeze it back. Extend and back. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's burning. 10. Hold it up. Tap it down. Squeeze and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that leg in. Sit back onto your heels. Extend the arms out. We're going to slide our bum over to the right. Extend our arms to the left. Forehead down. Feeling that nice long stretch all the way down the right side. Breathing, lengthening, stretching that out. Let's come back to center. Take a moment here. Maybe even dropping the elbows, bringing the hands together, bringing the thumbs to the back of the neck. Extending those arms out. And then we're going to curl all the way up. Set the shoulders down and back. Let's get started now. Second side. I'm going to turn to face you just so you can look at the form here, but you can just stay exactly where you are. Let's tuck those toes under. Again, making a choice to either stay up on the wrists or coming down onto the forearms. If you are taking the forearm option, just make sure you're not crunching, you're lifting to come up. Okay, starting now left side, picking up that left leg.
This side might feel different than the other side, so just be mindful of that. Again, making sure you're still breathing here as you're moving through this range of motion. We're doing about 100 repetitions per bum cheek. Okay, switching direction. Breathing, squeezing to lift, rolling it out. Two more. And done. Let's come back down, find our posture, making sure those right toes are tucked under. We're gonna lift the knee, start to squeeze the bum or the heel into the bum, and then we're gonna press up to the ceiling, lower that knee down, tap, pressing back up. Moving slow with control. We wanna find that stability through the shoulder girdle, through the stomach, locking in tight, lifting through that pelvic floor. Keep the breath flowing in the body. 3 more here. 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna hold it up. Small pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keep your knee up, extend your leg out, squeeze the heel back. Look over that left shoulder, make sure that knee is staying up nice and high. Flexion through the toes, that dorsiflexion, and then think about squeezing heel into glute, working into those hamstrings. Keep the breath flowing, nice and strong. Hips as squared off as possible, keeping that left hip bone facing towards your mat. We have 3, 2, and 1. Extend that leg, tap your toe down, squeeze your bum cheek, lift, lift, lift. Inhaling down, exhaling up. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that knee in. Get high through those shoulders, maybe tenting into the left fingerprints, coming up onto the pads, pressing down. We're lifting now out to the side. Bringing that knee up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it up. Back toes can be tucked or you can be resting on the top of your feet. Small pulses, looking at that knee, squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Extend it out, pull it back. This is the killer. Burning. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it out. Tap that toe down. Reposition if you need to. Nice and long through the spine. Get ready. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that knee in, sit on down, slide your hips over to the left as you curl over to the right. Breathing in and out. It's done, it's over. All the strength. Feel how strong those cheeks feel, how stable the hips feel. Circle it all the way back. Take a couple of breaths here. Full Balasana, child's pose. Walk your hands back. If you have a blanket on the mat, you can just move that blanket out of the way. We're gonna come into a little bit of stretching just to help open up those hips. Let's come down onto the mat, spread the fingers. You're gonna tuck the toes under. Send the heels back, or the bum back towards the heels. Press into those hands, start to lift the legs up. Pushing those sit bones back, start to paddle out the heels. One heel down, and then the other. Just feeling into that posterior chain. Once you've done a couple of pedals, come into a stationary position. Pressing all the way back through those sit bones, dropping the rib cage a little closer towards the thighs. Let's transfer the weight into the left foot. Let's take that right leg high in the air, reach, 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 and then you're gonna pull the knee in towards the wrist. Extend that back leg behind you. Look over your shoulder, just make sure that leg's coming straight up from the hip, and you're resting on the top of the foot, the metatarsal. You're gonna turn to face the front of your room, and you're gonna square your hips off with the top of your yoga mat, pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. Sit up nice and tall, press the back of your head towards the wall behind you, and let those hips settle. Now check in here. Does this feel good for you, or do you need a little bit of support underneath the bum? You can fold up that blanket and tuck it underneath the bum cheek, or maybe you have a little bit more range of motion through the hip. If you do, you can wing that shin bone so it's parallel with the top of the mat, making sure to flex the toes back to protect that knee joint. You can also take some angle in between. Another deep breath in. And then on your exhale, maintaining the length of your spine, start to elongate as you come all the way down. Head can come down to stack fists onto your hands, or maybe today forehead touches the ground. Just taking a couple of deep breaths, being aware of the sensation you feel in your head. Notice if it's similar to what it felt like when we were doing the strengthening portion of the class. We always want to work stability as well as mobility. And those two together give us the most strength as well as range of motion through those joints. A couple more breaths. And just letting those hips settle down. And then when you're ready, pressing into the hands, walking your hands back onto your mat, spreading the fingers out, wrists in front of the shoulders, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee, and then you're gonna push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Take the dog for a walk, paddling out through those heels, and then come into your stationary position. This time, right heel goes down, left leg lifts high to the sky. I'm gonna square that hip off, start to pull the knee into the wrist as you extend your other leg behind you. Sitting up tall, looking over that shoulder, looking at your form, your alignment, squaring off, settling down. Noticing if you need to make any adjustments, maybe a block or a blanket underneath the bum cheek, maybe winging that shin bone or taking another angle. Just remembering that flexion through the toes. Let's sit up tall, pressing the head back, big breath in. Exhale, lengthen and lower all the way down. Finding what's best for you through the hands, through the arms. And then settling in, using your breath to soften the posture, to open up. Release that jaw if you're clenching, if you're holding. And working those risible muscles of the face, the smile. Maybe turning the corner of your mouth up, just letting that nervous system calm. If you need longer in either of these poses, feel free to take it. Always doing what feels best in your bodies. From here, just start to walk yourself back. Plant the hands, tuck the toes under, lift your knee, pressing up, downward facing dog. Let's just take one little twist here and then the day is yours. Pressing down left hand, right hand's gonna come to the outside of that left leg. Grab anywhere on the leg that's accessible. Looking under the armpit, feeling this twist through that upper back. Breathing in. Right hand down, left hand crosses over. Looking underneath that shoulder, trying to stay square through the hips and through the shoulders. And release. Tap your knees down, sitting back onto the heels or cross-legged position. Let's just take the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring them down to heart center. Bow the head to the heart, connecting love and wisdom. Thank you so much for your hard work, for your practice today. I hope those hips and bum cheeks feel strong and open. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.